Why do some women thrive in their 70s and 80s, full of energy, purpose, and joy, while others feel stuck, tired, and invisible? We've been told to act our age, to slow down, to follow the so-called rules of aging. But what if those rules are actually working against you? Today, we're exposing 10 things that don't make sense for women over 60. Beliefs that may be limiting your happiness, health, and confidence without you even realizing it. And here's the kicker. Science proves that the women who reject these outdated ideas actually live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. So stay with me, because number 10 is the most freeing realization you'll ever hear. For decades, women over 60 have been told what they should or shouldn't do. You should dress modestly. You shouldn't lift heavy things. You should slow down and take it easy. But who decided these rules? And more importantly, are they actually helping us? Research proves that your mindset and lifestyle choices, not just genetics, determine how well you age. A long-term Harvard study on aging found that people who challenge outdated societal norms and stay mentally and physically engaged actually live longer, healthier lives. So today, we're going to bust 10 common myths that might be holding you back from living your best life. And I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt pressured to act your age? If so, type yes in the comments. And make sure you stay until the end, because the final mindset shift will completely change the way you see aging. 1. Dressing age-appropriate is a lie. How often have you heard this? You're too old to wear that. Stick to neutral colors. Bright patterns are for younger women. Dress modestly. You don't want to look desperate. But here's what the research actually says. A 2012 study from the Journal of Aging Studies found that self-expression through clothing directly boosts confidence, mood, and mental well-being at any age. When you dress in a way that makes you feel good, it reduces stress hormones and increases dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. Now, let's look at two women. Martha is 68. She follows all the rules. She wears beige, loose-fitting clothes because she was told that's what respectable older women wear. But every time she looks in the mirror, she feels invisible. She doesn't feel like herself anymore. Linda, on the other hand, is 70. She wears bold colors, stylish outfits, and accessories that make her smile. She doesn't care if someone thinks she's too old for a leather jacket or a bright red dress. And guess what? People notice her. They compliment her energy, not just her outfit. Here's the truth. Confidence is ageless. Myth: older women should dress modestly and avoid bright colors. Reality: your clothing should reflect you, not someone else's outdated rules. Try this today. Open your closet and pick out one thing you love but rarely wear because you think it's too young or too bold. Wear it, even if it's just around the house. See how it makes you feel, because style has no age limit. 2. Society says you should slow down, but science disagrees. You've probably heard it before. Take it easy. You're not as young as you used to be. You deserve to rest. No need to push yourself. But what if I told you that slowing down too much is actually harmful to your health? A 2020 study from a National Institute on Aging found that seniors who stay physically and mentally active reduce their risk of cognitive decline by up to 30%. Another study from Harvard Medical School found that older adults who continue learning new skills maintain stronger memory and brain function. Now let's look at two women. Sue retired at 65 and saw it as a chance to finally relax. She spent most of her days watching TV and avoiding anything physically or mentally challenging. But over time, she started feeling stagnant. She lost motivation, her energy levels dropped, and she felt old before her time. Ellen, also 65, had a different approach. She saw retirement as a new beginning. She learned how to paint, joined a dance class, and even started lifting light weights at home. Now, at 72, she feels more alive than ever. Her mind is sharp, her body is strong, and she wakes up excited for the day. Here's the truth: movement is life. Learning keeps you young. Myth: it's normal to slow down after 60. Reality, your brain and body thrive when you stay active and engaged. Try this today. Take up one new activity this week. Maybe it's a simple dance routine, a craft project, or even learning a few words in a new language. Because the moment you stop challenging yourself is the moment you start aging faster. 3. It's too late to make new friends. Have you ever thought, at my age, making new friends is impossible? Maybe you've lost touch with people over the years. Maybe family members are busy with their own lives. Or maybe you just feel like everyone already has their friend groups. But here's what the science says. Strong social connections can literally extend your life. A Harvard study that tracked adults for over 80 years found that having close relationships was the one factor in living a longer, healthier, and happier life. In fact, loneliness is as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, according to a study from the National Institute on Aging. Now, let's look at two women. Janet spends most of her time alone. She tells herself, "I'm too old to make new friends." She stays home, watches TV, and rarely reaches out to anyone. Over time, she feels more isolated, anxious, and even physically unwell. Carol, on the other hand, joins a local book club and takes an art class at the community center. She makes a few new friends who share her interests. She even reconnects with an old college friend on Facebook. Now, she feels more connected than ever, and studies show that her heart, brain, and immune system are benefiting from it. Here's the truth. Friendship has no age limit. Myth, you can't make close friends after a certain age. Reality, your social life can thrive at any stage if you put yourself out there. Try this today. Take one small step. Join a local club, take a class, or call an old friend just to say hello. Because staying connected isn't just good for your soul, it's essential for your health. 4. You are too old to change your diet. How many times have you heard, "At this age, it doesn't really matter what you eat"? Some people think that changing your diet is pointless after 60, but science tells a different story. A 2021 study from the National Institute on Aging found that improving your diet at any age can lower inflammation, boost energy, and even extend your lifespan. And contrary to popular belief, your metabolism doesn't just shut down after 60, it can adapt when given the right nutrients. Now, let's look at two women. Margaret believes changing her diet won't make a difference. She eats a lot of processed foods, sugary snacks, and fast food. Lately, she's been feeling tired all the time, struggling with brain fog, and noticing more aches and pains. She assumes this is just part of aging. Nancy, on the other hand, decides to make small but powerful changes. She focuses on protein, healthy fats, and whole foods, eating things like eggs, salmon, leafy greens, and nuts. Within a few weeks, she feels more energetic, her joint pain improves, and she even sleeps better. Here's the truth. Food is fuel at any age. Myth. At this age, your diet doesn't really matter. Reality. What you eat can determine how well you feel every single day. Try this today. Make one simple dietary swap this week. Maybe you replace chips with nuts, swap soda for sparkling water, or add more protein to your meals. Because it's never too late to nourish your body and feel your best. 5. Retirement means the end of purpose. Wrong. For decades, we work hard, raise families, and juggle responsibilities. And then one day, we retire and society tells us, "Now, just relax." But what if endless relaxation isn't the key to happiness? Research shows that having a sense of purpose after retirement can actually add years to your life. A 2019 study from the University of Michigan found that seniors with a strong sense of purpose were 34% less likely to die over a 4-year period than those without one. Purpose isn't just about having something to do. It boosts mental sharpness, reduces stress, and even improves heart health. Now, let's look at two women. Doris worked hard her whole life. When she retired at 65, she thought she'd finally take it easy. At first, She enjoyed the break, but after a few months, she felt lost. She spent her days watching TV, unsure of what to do next. Without a reason to get up in the morning, she started feeling depressed and unmotivated. Ruth, on the other hand, also retired at 65, but she saw it as a new chapter, not the end of one. She volunteered at a local animal shelter, mentored young women in her field, and even started a small garden project in her community. Now at 75, she feels more fulfilled than ever. Here's the truth. Purpose doesn't retire. You just have to redefine it. Myth. Retirement means slowing down and relaxing all day. Reality. Staying engaged in meaningful activities keeps you healthier and happier. Try this today. Think of one way you can add purpose to your days. Maybe it's mentoring younger generations, volunteering, or starting a hobby that excites you. Because a life filled with purpose is a life well lived. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been told to act your age? Maybe someone said you should dress a certain way, slow down, or stop chasing new dreams. If so, I want to hear your story. Drop a comment below and tell me. What's one age rule you've been told that just doesn't make sense? And if this message is resonating with you, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We're building a community of strong, empowered women who know that age is just a number. 6. Looking young is the goal, but feeling young is what matters. Society bombards us with a message: fight aging at all costs. Everywhere you look, there's a new anti-wrinkle cream, cosmetic procedure, or magic pill promising to keep you looking 20 years younger. But here's what science actually says. Your perception of aging affects your health more than physical aging itself. A landmark study from Yale University found that people who viewed aging positively lived an average of 7.5 years longer than those who saw it as something to fear. Another study from the National Institutes of Health showed that staying strong, active, and engaged is a far better predictor of health than wrinkle-free skin. Now, let's look at two women. Anna is obsessed with looking younger. She spends thousands on creams and cosmetic treatments, constantly checking the mirror for new lines. But no matter how much she tries to reverse aging, she feels insecure, stressed, and never satisfied. Betty, on the other hand, focuses on feeling young, not just looking young. She moves her body every day, eats nourishing foods, and keeps her mind active. She radiates confidence and energy, and people can't help but notice. Ironically, she looks fantastic even without obsessing over it. Here's the truth. Vibrancy is more attractive than youth. Myth. Wrinkles are bad. Looking young is everything. Reality. Feeling strong, confident, and engaged in life is what truly makes you shine. Try this today. Instead of worrying about a wrinkle, do something that makes you feel alive. Take a walk, dance in your living room, or call a friend who makes you laugh. Because confidence is the best anti-aging secret there is. 7. Romance and dating are off limits. Not true. Have you ever thought, dating at my age? That ship has sailed. Many women over 60 assume that romance, love, or even companionship aren't meant for them anymore. But here's what the research says. Love and companionship aren't just for the young. They're essential for emotional and even physical health. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that romantic relationships in later life improve emotional well-being, reduce stress, and even lead to better heart health. Companionship, whether it's a deep friendship or a new romance, keeps the mind and heart young. Now let's look at two women. Sandra believes that her time for love has passed. She tells herself, dating is for younger people. No one would be interested in me at this age. So she closes herself off to possibilities and, over time, feels lonely and disconnected. Gloria, on the other hand, stays open to new connections. She joins a local social group, meets someone wonderful, and slowly builds a beautiful relationship. Now, she feels alive, cherished, and excited about the future. Here's the truth. Love has no expiration date. Myth. Dating after 60 is desperate or unrealistic. Reality. Emotional connection and companionship are vital at every stage of life. Try this today. Be open to new friendships and connections, whether it's through an online dating site, a community event, or just saying yes to new experiences. Because your heart doesn't have an age limit. 8. You shouldn't lift weights. It's dangerous. How many times have you heard that lifting weights is only for young people? Some believe that after a certain age, strength training is too risky. But science says the exact opposite. A Harvard Medical School study found that women over 60 who engage in regular strength training improve bone density, boost metabolism, and reduce the risk of falls by nearly 40%. In fact, muscle loss, not aging, is one of the biggest reasons people feel weaker over time. Now, let's look at two women. Mary fears that lifting weights is too dangerous for someone her age. She avoids any type of strength training, and over time, her muscles weaken, her posture suffers, and simple tasks, like carrying groceries, become harder. Patricia, on the other hand, starts with light strength training, using resistance bands and small hand weights. Within a few months, she feels stronger, steadier, and more confident. Now, she walks with better balance, climbs stairs easily, and even has more energy. Here's the truth. Strength isn't just for the young. It's for anyone who wants to stay independent and vibrant. Myth. Lifting weights is for young people. Reality. Strength training protects your bones, muscles, and overall health. Try this today. Start small. Try bodyweight exercises like squats or push-ups against a wall, or use resistance bands for gentle strength training. Because staying strong means staying independent. 9. Learning is for the young, not true. Have you ever thought, I'm too old to learn new things? Many women believe that after a certain age, their brains aren't as sharp or that learning new skills, especially things like technology, is too difficult. But here's what science tells us. Your brain never stops adapting, a concept called neuroplasticity. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults who engage in lifelong learning improve memory, cognitive function, and even delay dementia. The brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Now, let's look at two women. Alice assumes she's too old to learn technology. When her family switches to video calls or online shopping, she avoids it. Over time, she feels more disconnected from the world around her. Barbara, on the other hand, decides to challenge herself. She takes a basic computer course at her local library, learns how to use a smartphone, and even joins an online class about a topic she loves. Now, she feels empowered, connected, and confident. Here's the truth. Lifelong learning keeps you mentally sharp and engaged. Myth. Older brains can't learn new things. Reality. Your brain thrives on learning at any age. Try this today. Take on a small challenge. Learn a new recipe, try an online course, or read a book on a topic you've always been curious about. Because staying curious keeps you young. 10. Happiness declines with age, but it's actually the opposite. Do you ever hear people say, getting older is depressing? There's a common belief that aging means more loneliness, more regrets, and less joy. But science tells a very different story. A major study from the University of California, San Diego found that happiness actually increases with age, with older adults reporting higher life satisfaction, less stress, and a greater sense of purpose than younger generations. Why? Because with age comes wisdom, emotional resilience, and the freedom to focus on what truly matters. Now, let's look at two women. Debbie dreads getting older. She focuses on what she's lost rather than what she's gained, resisting change, holding on to regrets, and fearing the future. As a result, she feels stuck and unhappy. Helen, on the other hand, embraces aging. She sees it as a new chapter, filled with opportunities for growth, connection, and joy. Instead of fearing change, she adapts, finds gratitude in everyday moments, and surrounds herself with positivity. As a result, she feels happier and more fulfilled than ever. Here's the truth. Happiness isn't about youth, it's about mindset. Myth: aging is depressing. Reality: life satisfaction actually increases as you age. Try this today. Shift your focus. Write down 3 things you're grateful for right now. Because happiness isn't about age, it's about perspective. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered today. Aging isn't about decline. It's about rewriting the rules to live your best life. You don't have to follow outdated expectations about how to dress, how to eat, or how to live. Science proves that strength, learning, purpose, and even love don't have an age limit. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Confidence, health, and joy don't expire at 60. In fact, they can get even better. Staying active physically, mentally, and socially keeps you independent and thriving. You are never too old to try something new, make a change, or find happiness. So challenge the outdated beliefs. Let go of fear and start embracing the freedom that comes with age. Because this chapter, it's yours to write. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 things surprised you the most? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And if you're ready for more tips on thriving at any age, watch this next video on your screen. It's packed with even more ways to stay strong, confident, and vibrant. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Because this journey, we're in it together. See you next time.